Hey everybody, it's Doug here. Thank you for joining me today, and I appreciate you coming along on this ride as we play more Darkest Dungeon, the board game. Now, in the last video, it's been a while, I know, so maybe you've forgotten, so I'm going to give you a little catch-up. We are into the second dungeon of 3 as we head on to take on the Necromancer. Now, in the first dungeon, we didn't do that well. We came back with only 1 experience, which I still have, and a handful of gold to do some things with, which we did do. And now we've headed into the second dungeon, where we've encountered a trap, and now we've gotten into our first battle. Now, our quest is to clear layers. We're going to get 1 experience point for each layer that we clear, and there happen to be 3 potential layers in this dungeon. So that's good for us, and we're in the very first of those fights, so hopefully we can do a couple more, because we need to get experience in before we go after this Necromancer. That's going to be challenging if we don't. Now, with that, I would like to add that I didn't use our firewood last time, and I should have. That was a mistake. I probably should have rested and then continued on to get more experience out of the previous dungeon. I didn't. But part of the funny part, well, one of the funny reasons why that is I can't find my firewood token. That's a stupid reason, I know. But anyway, this is going to be our firewood token since I used the torch to move around the dungeon, my little torch miniature. So that's what we're going to do. Anyway, we have the Hellion, the Highwayman, the Grave Robber, and the Vestal. And we've wandered into a spiked pit trap room where we have a couple of chests and some critters. Now, with the Necromancer, again, I'm kind of catching you up because it's been a little while. With the Necromancer, living creatures that survive the battle, things that are not unholy, which are usually, the unholies are usually undead, do not continue to populate the dungeons during this adventure. It's part of the special stipulations of the Necromancer. Only undead things do, or unholy things do. So most of these creatures aren't going to come back to us, just this bone courtier right there. Now, we are in this spiked room. This is the room. And there's 2 important factors about it. In section A, which is right here, this central piece, it does a circle of power, meaning that monsters standing here at the end of the turn will heal 4. That's pretty bad, so we got to get in there and kill these guys quick. However, it says monsters, not us, so we can stand there all day. Doesn't help us one bit. However, this area here, this whole area there is a pit, a spiked pit. Heroes and monsters that are pulled or standing here at the end of their turn take 3 damage and suffer 1 bleed for 3 turns. That is not good. Now, this team that I have doesn't have a lot of pull, pun intended, right? There's not a lot of abilities that we have. In fact, I'm looking at them, and I don't really have any on, well, maybe the Grave Robber might have one. Let's see. The Grave Robber does not. Nobody really has any abilities that can pull the monsters, so we're going to have to get to them. And however, like the monsters, none of them have a lot of powers that pull either that I'm looking. In fact, I don't see any. So I think this is kind of neutralized as long as we stay out of it, right? And the good news is we can move around enough. We got to get to those chests, so we're going to head that way. Like, I think I'm going to head our Grave Robber up there to get to this chest. By the way, I do intend to paint these. You know, I'm not going to turn it up because on the bottom is the reward, and they're randomized. I don't want to know what it is. But I do want to paint these. I just think that the creation of the atmosphere is too important. And also something I forgot to do, which I do want to do, and I think I'll use this one, is to create our backdrop. That's what these are for, so you can create a backdrop to your battle, right? And I think that's super cool. It's just a little thematic thing, and it's neat. Okay. Well, anyway, with that, let's get started. We already have our monsters out. I've already shuffled up the initiative deck. I reviewed all of their, because they're starting to get, one of the things about this game, and I'm going to say it right up front, it's fiddly, okay? You're going to make mistakes. Things are going to go wrong. There's a lot of little things going on. You have a lot of abilities to contend with, especially if you're playing it solo with 4 characters, as I am. And they start building up a lot of things like quirks and trinkets and stuff like that you have to keep track of. Like, for example, Dismas, our Highwayman, his name is Dismas in the video games, that's what I'm calling him, has this bleed charm. When you hit with a skill that inflicts bleed, you can inflict an additional 2 for 2 turns. That's pretty powerful. I have to remember that it exists. He also is a clotter. See, and this is where every turn, I really got to look at each of their abilities and make sure, and I'm sure I'm going to miss something. So I'm just saying that up front, because that's going to happen. Now, I've got it laid out where I can see things pretty clearly, but I just want to make sure you understand that that's a possibility. We also have all of our provisions here still. A lot of potions, so when we take Blight, we'll be able to get rid of that pretty well. We have 1 food and 1 bandage left. I think we need some more stuff. Hopefully it's in the chests. With that said, let's get started. You know, the Hellion is in the first combative position, so we're going to draw our first cards, and if we get lucky enough to go first, then she's going to move and attack. Now, again, we have to pay attention to the rules of engagement here. This zone can only handle 3 characters, so if I move the Hellion in there, ain't nobody else going in there with her until one of those guys is dead. So I'm going to give this another little quick shuffle. One thing I wish they had done, I wish these initiative cards were more neutral on the back, because if they get flipped over, it's kind of, you know, you got to make sure they're just facing the right direction. Not a big deal, just a little nitpick. Let's see what we get. We do get to go first, so the Hellion is going to go first. Now, she has a range 1 ability, which isn't going to do any good. I got to get her to move. She has a movement of 2. She can get there. Good thing is Dismas are, and by the way, the Hellion in the game's name is Boudica, like, you know, the queen. And I don't remember the Vestal's name. I never remember her name, and I don't remember the Grave. I think the Gravevar's name is Aubrey. Really cool stories, by the way. We're going to, I think, move and attack. I do have a couple of very cool abilities, and I want to hit this big guy, I think. Well, the Courtier is probably easier to kill with 7 health, and the Courtier causes stress. I don't like that. Stress is such a factor in this game. But there's really no way to reduce stress in this dungeon, so I might want to go at him first. I could do a big giant wicked hack. And now if we critical, remember she's hard skin, if she gets critical, rather, then she has an ability. I have to remember how it works if that happens. But that's only if she gets hit. We also have this Warrior's Bracer with her that allows her +2 accuracy when in this stance. If we use that ability, and then it'll flip over to this one, and then we have to use the negative part to get it back to, that's how trinkets work. The lower level, the weaker they are. Those are level 1 trinkets. So I think with her, definitely want to move, because I do have Iron Swan. You know, I could not move her, but again, do they have any pool ability? Oh, you know what? The Cultist Brawler does have pool for himself, not for the enemy. It's himself, so he can pull himself closer. But I don't. So that might be worth, because if he pulls himself into there, no, it doesn't say that. It does say pull, any pull. I don't know. I'm not going to take a chance. I think I'm not going to do the Iron Swan. Oh man, that might work. It's a big hit. 12 damage if I crit. Crits right now with our Torchlight are we have +1 dodge. Our Torchlight is full, so we don't have a +1 crit right now. So right now our crit is simply a 1. I think what we'll do to hit him, we're going to need to hit him. I'm going to need to roll a 9 with the Iron Swan. And I think it's worth it. The question is, do I move him in there to fight this guy? Do I use his ranged? He's got some ranged abilities. But if it bleeds and Wicked Hack, well, the Wicked Hack does the same amount of damage as the Iron Swan. The only thing about the Iron Swan is it allows it can attack 2 ways. So I think we're going to do that. We're going to move. Well, first, I mean, I could see, yeah. Okay, first action, boom, boom. The Hellion goes into there. The Hellion is a little wounded. She's got 6 damage out of her 14 health. But we got the Vestal that can do some healing. And this guy is going to have to come around to attack because there's a wall right here. So we'll see. The Pliskin. So she moved there for her first of 2 actions. On her second action, I think we're going to Wicked Hack. I'm debating on the bleed. Let's see. Let's look at this guy here. What has he got? Because I'm debating on who I attack as well. He's got 11 health, so she'd have to critical to kill him. And he's got these abilities. Man, he's pretty nasty. I think we do want to get rid of the Brawler. And then for the Courtier, see, the Courtier is going to cause stress only if this ability triggers, which is pretty likely, except, oh, it is 100% likely because it's in this stance. So do I kill I think we're going to go after the Courtier first. It's an easier target, and if another hero, like if the Highwayman would go next, we can shoot it and get it dead. Maybe that's the right way to go. Let's get the dice bowl out and roll to see if we can kill this thing. And sorry, that was a lot of explanation to get to the first attack of the game, but I wanted to give you my thoughts. So here we go. Let's see. A 3, not a critical, but we did hit the Bone Courtier 4 with Wicked Hack for 7 damage. The Courtier has exactly 7, and it does have a 1 dodge, but with a 3, that's not going to matter, so I would have needed to roll an 8. We're going to kill the Bone Courtier outright with that ability. That was beautiful. And just to show you that, here's the damage. Courtier has no armor or defense that would block that, so the Courtier is dead. Now this one's going to go back into the monster deck, so I got to remember that. And that when we get down to the last monster card or monster initiative card, we won't have to worry about it. So this guy already, before he got to do anything, as cool as his miniature looks, is wiped from the board. So he's gone. Bam. Good job for our Hellion. That was a great start. I did leave the beefier, more devastating creature there. However, now I can get somebody else into that space. Who's going next? Oh man, another hero. So the Highwayman goes next. Let's see. Now, we got some things. I don't think I need to move the Highwayman at all. I think he can do his pistol shot from there. Or do I want to go in there and block anything from coming into the space? That might be better. He can go in there and do an open vein and do some bleed damage, or he can do his Wicked Slice. From this defensive position, he can do either. Doesn't have a lot of damage, so I think we're going to do that. He gets to move 2 as well. So he's going to go 1, 2, and join the Hellion in that space. I think this is the right move. And do I want to do a lot of damage, or do I want to start bleeding the guy out? This one has a higher accuracy, so he would need a, he would need a 10, so he can't miss, but he also can't currently crit. But with the Wicked Slice, he could possibly miss, but on a crit. Let's do the Wicked Slice. I think the bleed is cool, but I think in this case, wait, does he have bleed resistance? No, he has stun resistance. So he could bleed him out. That would be an additional, 4 damage over the next 2 turns. We could, and now 7, that would kill him if we just left him alone even. I think we're going to do the open vein. We're going to do open vein. Now he can't really miss with the open vein. It's got a 10. And no dodge from the brawler. So let's see what he gets. He gets a 7, so he hits, which is great. The open vein is going to do 5 points of damage to the cultist brawler. There's that. There's 5 points for the cultist brawler. It is also going to do, more importantly, some bleed. And it's going to do 2 bleed for 2 turns. I just checked. Neither of the first 2 characters I went with have a status, so we're okay there. And there's 2 bleed for 2 turns on the cultist brawler. Bam! That is a great way to start, and that was the end of the Highwayman's turn. And we're nowhere out of the woods yet. We got to see what comes up. Another hero. You saw me shuffle these guys. This is awesome. Okay, now the Grave Robber has 3 movement. I do not like the maggots. They can create disease. They have a health of 6. What can she do to get them dead fast? And also head for the chest. That's important. She got poison darts. That's not bad. What are they? They are resistant to. They are immune to stun the maggots and resistant to. What's the term I'm looking for? Not downgrades. Debuffs. They're resistant to debuffs, which make it harder for them to crit and hit. So what do we have? We have something that ignores armor. They don't have any armor. They have no dodge. They're pretty weak overall. It's just this whole disease thing and stun that they can do. So we got to get in there and do some killing fast. So I can throw dart. We can't mark anybody. I think she's just going to move in and pick it to the face. They only have 6 damage. If she crits, it dies. The poison darts are cool, but that's a little longer effect. So we're going to go 1 into here, 2 into here. Now we have 3 movements, so we're fine. And the next one, we're going to attack the maggot right off the bat. I got to tell you, going first makes a big difference. We are going to do pick to the face. She needs a 9 or less. She crit on a 1. Oh my gosh, a 1. We crit, and we're going to kill it outright. This fight could not be going any better than it is right now. This is probably the best fight I've had in the game. So we rolled a 1, meaning crit, which means that, unfortunately, she's the only one there. So her stress drops down. She's only got 2 stress now. That's really, really good. And the maggot, who was in the first position, is going to go kaput. And you can see that it has 6 health. There's nothing else it could have done to stop that. So the maggot is dead. The maggot is going to go out of the scenario, so we need to put that aside and move these up. Now the Cultist Brawler is now in the first position and the Pliskin's in the second. Now unfortunately, with the heroes all going first, that's great. We've done a lot of damage, but we're not, again, the Brawler's going to go, he's pretty nasty, and the Pliskin hasn't done anything yet. Okay, here we go in our dungeon, and hey, if you can hear a lawnmower, I apologize. You know, it's my professional studio, what can I say? Okay, our first monster is going, and that is going to be the Cultist Brawler. Now the Brawler, the first thing that's going to happen is the Brawler is going to bleed for 2, and take 2 more damage. So now the Brawler is up to 7. That was very, very good. And he's going to make his attack. Now he is in the first position, so he is going to do something called Rend of the Old Gods. He's going to attack the closest. Now we have 2 closest, but the Hellion is in the first position, the aggressive stance, so it will attack the Hellion. It hits on an 8, has a crit of 0. It does self-pull, but it's not going to need to do that. It also does 1 bleed for 3 turns, a debuff for 2 turns, and plus 1 stress if it hits. The Hellion does have 1 dodge, so the Cultist has to roll a 7 or less. Okay, let's see what happens here with the Cultist swinging at our Hellion. A 3, so it is going to hit, but it is not going to critical, and that means that we're going to do this damage. So on the Rend for the Old Gods is going to do 3 points of damage to our Hellion. That is going to put the Hellion at 9, so we definitely need the Vestal to come in and do some healing, I think. It is going to do 1 bleed for 3 turns. I need to get that out for the Hellion. Now, some of you might think, if you haven't seen the video games, that seems so fiddly. And to do these bleeds over time and these dots, you know, those damage over time things. Here's the 3 bleed that I'm putting on the Hellion. And that might be true, but it is in such spirit of the actual game. That's a big part of the game, is managing things like blight tokens, especially in the second one. Bleeding creatures out, blighting them out, getting them poisoned. Man, it makes a huge difference in the game, and you have that spirit here. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to get a debuff for 2 turns, and I'll tell you what debuff does in a minute because we've never seen that. Bleed's more obvious. Here are the 2 debuff tokens for the Hellion as well, and let's look at debuff here. Debuff. As long as the character is debuffed, others gain +1 crit to their skill targeting. So right now that every monster attacking the Hellion has at least a chance of critting of 2, depending on the ability. The crit could be higher. Okay, and then 1 stress. So that 1 stress we got back for the crit. Oh wait, wrong character. This is the Hellion. The Hellion goes up by 1. 1, 2, 3, 4 stress now out of 10. So not so great. And that ends the attack for the Cultist. Now the Cultist would pull himself forward, but it doesn't matter. He's already in the front position. He's not moving. All right, let's see what happens next. It's been a good fight so far. I'm not sure if I'm going to get to this other chest in time. We'll see. It is the other monster, so the Pliskin is going to go. Now, what does the Pliskin do in the defensive position? It's going to do Ability 2, so let's take a look at that. Ability 2 is Infuse. It's going to attack the closest at 0 range. There's nobody at this point, which means it's going to have to move. It's got a move of 2, so it can't get to anybody. And since it's doing this ability of Infuse, just to be sure, if it's in these, yeah, it's in the ranged position right now. Oh no, it's in the defensive position. So I'm sorry, it's going to do Infuse, which is 0 range. Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, it'll move, but it won't get to do anything. So that's fantastic for us. So the Pliskin's going to go, I'm coming for you. It goes, let me get back to the map. Oh, I am on the map. All right. We're going to go 1, 2, and that's all it gets to do this turn. And then, of course, if we have another monster, we'll take that out of the pool because we don't have any more monsters. And then the Vestal gets to go. The Vestal is, of course, our healer. She's only got 3 damage on her, so she's doing fine. And if she uses some of her abilities, she can actually heal herself. Now, the question of the day is, I can't stun the Brawler. He's resistant. And that's only a 1-turn stun, so that won't do any good. But I can also bring the torchlights up to maximum. So I was looking at her Dazzling Light, which has a range of 1. I need something with longer range. She can't move into the... I don't want her in the pit trap, and if I move her to the Pliskin, it's going to get to attack her immediately. Well, not immediately, on the next turn, but maybe we can kill it before that happens, and I think she needs to heal our Hellion. So, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go Man, she's got a movement of what? 1. Oh, that's bad. I don't want to leave her in the pit trap. She will automatically take 3 damage and bleed. So, does she have anything that has 2 range on it? Everything's 0 to 1 range. Oh, this is rough for her. I didn't realize what kind of position this would put her in. We don't have any... I could take both her turns to move. I mean, but that would be it. She wouldn't get to do anything. Unless she does have this early riser. If the torch goes up, she gets a buff. That's not helpful. She has no defense. She's pretty healthy. She can take a hit from the... I guess that we're going to have to use both of her actions to move this turn. She's got nothing that has range enough to get to our characters. She'll be able to heal herself if she gets hit by the snake. So we are going to have to do that. She's going to go 1, 2 to this location with the snake. It can hold 3 characters as well, so she can do that. And that is unfortunately going to be the end of her turn. And this last card, this last initiative card is a monster card, but it is dead. So we're going to gather up the initiative cards again. We're going to move the round marker to round 2, and we're going to go again at these monsters. Now, like I said, we had a really, really good run right there. That was pretty amazing. Just want to make sure I got all the initiative cards right, and we'll shuffle them up, okay? And we'll go at it again with these monsters. Now, we only got well, I'm sorry, I forgot to take him off the board. The little maggot has been killed. I got to take him off board. I think the Grave Arbor is going to go for the chest. I think that's the right thing to do there. Okay. Now, let's do just a little more shuffling just to make sure, because they're all stacked together nicely. Let's see what we get. A monster's going first. So the Cultist Brawler is going to go first. Now, he does have a bleed token, so he's going to take 2 more bleed. That has got him almost dead. What is he at? He is at 9 out of 11. So we can, if we get a hit on him again, he will go. Now, again, he's in the front, that aggressive stance position, so he's going to use Rend for the Old Gods on the on our Hellion. Now, remember, the cool thing about that is that the crit chance is, while it's greater, she has an ability of hard skin, so she doesn't take crits as easily. However, that doesn't mean that she can't get hit. So she has 1 dodge, right? She does. She has 1 dodge, so he needs, again, a 7 or less to hit her, and that will be his target. Okay, let's see what we get done here. A 6. Man, almost missed. So if she does get hit again, that is very painful, because that is going to be another 3 damage. That puts her at, let me see, 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. Ooh, I'm going to give her a 10 and a 2. She only has 2 health left, man. We got to get the Vestal healing her up quickly, or she's going to die. We don't want her to die, that is for sure. She also, when she goes, she's going to take bleed. This is really bad. How much bleed? She's going to go down, unless what can we do here? I don't think there's anything we can do. Did I just miscalculate that damage? What does she have? She has 11 damage on her. Okay. But still, it won't matter if she's taking 2 bleed. She might drop. So I'm going to put, again, another bleed on her. You know, I have bandages. I think we're going to have to absorb the bandages and get rid of the bleed before she takes it. I'm going to get the 3 more points out, and I'm going to look up if the bandages can take all the bleed off or just the 1, but I do think we're going to have to do that. I was hoping to save the bandages. Bandages can remove bleed. I just got to see if it's all bleed. I'm going to look at the rule book real quick. Let me do that. Okay, anytime by any hero. So as long as the snake doesn't go next, well, it won't matter. As long as the Hellion goes first, we can get rid of the bleed before the bleed damage takes effect, and it will wipe out all of the bleed. But we're not done, because I also have to add 2 more debuff to her. So she's going to be, now she's got a +2 on the chance for crits against her. And she goes up 1 more in stress. That guy's really nasty. Wow. Okay, well, odds are it's not going to be the snake. Not that it's going to matter. Right, so it is the Hellion. So the first thing we're going to do is, before she takes that bleed, we are going to use these bandages anytime by any hero. So this is the first thing that's going to happen. Those are gone, and we're going to remove all the bleed from the Hellion, which saves her life, basically. So she's still pretty damaged, but saved her life. And then she's going to, of course, try and kill this guy. Or does she Iron Swan the snake and clear the way for the Vestal? No, because well, the Highwayman's going to get to go. This might be a better move. So her Iron Swan ability, the snake has how many health? 9? That's pretty tough. Iron Swan can do 7 or 12 on a crit. Man, that's, I don't know. Yeah, I think, well, first off, let's take off one of the debuffs. So she's got one of those gone, and the bleed's gone, so we're okay there. And then I think we'll just Iron Swan the snake and see if we can kill it and keep the Vestal clear. Let's try and do that. And, I mean, the cultist is 3 points away from death, so as long as the Highwayman can hit the cultist, which is pretty likely, we'll kill it. Alright, now the snake, the Pliskin, does have 1 dodge, so the Iron Swan needs an 8 or less to hit. We roll a 5, so we hit. We're going to do 7 damage with the Iron Swan. Here's that card right there. It doesn't do anything else, it just has a range of 2. So she can... Oh wait, it has exactly a range of 2. So I can't use the Iron Swan. Take that back. So we'll keep that die roll. We'll just say we're going to attack the cultist. That makes the most sense. Or do I move in and kill and hit the snake? But then that means she's vulnerable to the snake. No, we're going to kill the cultist. So with that, the Wicked Hack will do 7 points of damage and the cultist will be dead. That guy is gone. And that means the snake is the only thing left in our enemy pool. And the cultist is going to go out of the game as well. Okay, man, 3 creatures down. We're in good shape here. We only got the snake left. And now I do have another action for the Hellion. She has a move of... So if the snake attacks, he's going to attack the closest. That's going to be the Vestal, as long as I don't... So here's what we're going to do with the Hellion. The Hellion has 2 moves. She's going to go 1, 2. See if we can get to that chest in time. She's still within range of healing from the Vestal, and the Highwayman can go after the snake. Okay. Good job there. What goes next? It is going to be our Highwayman. So the Highwayman is going to do what with the snake? If he moves in there, he'll absorb the hit from the snake, and he's not in bad shape at all. That might be a really, really good thing to do. He can move in and use his open vein, or he can almost kill it with the Wicked Slice. Let's go look. Here's our, like I said, I didn't show you this, but the Hellion moved from there to there. She's heading toward the chest. Maybe, hopefully, get there in time. Let's do this. We're gonna attack the. Here, I'll just put this right here. We'll attack the snake with pistol shot, that's only 5 points. It would be more if I marked, but I didn't take the ability that allows him to mark. However, I don't want the Vestal take. Well, the Vestal can self-heal. It's probably better that the Highwayman actually do the pistol shot, because it'll take 2 pistol shots to kill it. And the pistol shot has an accuracy of 9. The snake has 1, so he needs an 8 or better. I could do open vein, get in there and do some bleed. No, we'll shoot it. We'll stay right where we're at and we'll shoot it. 7. Oh, by the way, I just realized I made a mistake, but it's not going to affect anything. The cultist would have healed 4. Would I have done enough damage? Let me think about that real quick. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, I still would have done enough damage with the Wicked Hack from the Hellion to kill it by 2. So we would have been okay there. I just want to make sure I track that. Now we did hit with the Highwayman, so we pistol shot the snake for 5. I'll put 5 points of damage on there. I'm going to just double check my math in between, make sure, but I'm 99% sure I still killed the cultist. Now since I was successful with the pistol shot, I can't shoot again. But what I can do with the Highwayman is move. We'll go 1, 2 to here. There's a reason I'm doing that. You'll see when the Vestal gets to go, and we'll continue on. Now the snake's still alive, so the snake is probably going to attack, well, will attack the Vestal when it comes up, but it does not come up yet. The Highwayman is, the Grave Robber rather, she's just going to move here, and we're going to grab this chest. What does it say? It is a provision, or a money die times 2. Now we didn't have very good luck with this last time. That one was a provision or a money die, and I chose the money, and it didn't go very well for us. So let's see what we get here. 2 gold. 2 gold. Okay, well, my chests are not going well for us. So we have 7 gold again. That's not awful, I suppose, but that was really a waste of power and ability. Let's see. Okay, next we're going to go with... Oh, well, the Vestal gets to go next. So do we kill... No, we don't kill the snake. We do some healing. Okay, I think what she's going to do She's going to stay right there, but she's going to do this. It's going to be Divine Comfort. She does need to roll. It's a 12. She can crit on a 3. It's going to heal she's going to cast it into this space. So she'll heal the Highwayman and the Hellion for 2, and then she'll heal herself for 2, and that'll make her more capable of dealing with the snake if the snake lasts another round, which it will because we're not attacking it. So let's do this. Let's roll our dice and see what we get. A 5. So a 5 is okay. That's a 5 or a 1, man. Let me see. Look, oh, it's closer to a 1, but I'll say it was a 5. So we're going to heal 2 points of damage off the Hellion. That puts her at 9. So let's get that out. And 9, and then 2 points of damage off the Highwayman, just leaves him with 2. And then of course the Vestal had 3 damage on her. She heals 2 as well. And that is wonderful. That was a great use of her ability of Divine Comfort. All right, next up we are going to go with the snake. The snake is going to be the last one to go. So we know the snake is at 0 range and going after the 0 range target. Well, wait, that may change. It doesn't change, so it's going to use its infuse ability, which is 0 range. See, it's in this position, so it's going to get a 10 accuracy, so a 9 to hit. And if we're lucky, it will miss. But if it doesn't, it's going to do 4 points of damage and 2 bleed for 3 turns. That's bad. Not bleed, rather, but blight. Good thing is I have tons of potions. We'll just get rid of it. A 4, so it does hit. It does not crit. That is good. So she takes 4 points. So I'll just take the 1 point she has left. She's at 5. She'll heal that back up. She does take, however, 3 turns of 2 blight, right? Well, that's pretty... That would normally be really, really rough. Here's the 2 blight tokens. There we go. Those are going to go on her board, but she's just going to get rid of it because I have so many anti-venom potions. It's insane. And that is going to mark the end of that round. We're going on to round 3, y'all. We're almost there. Let's keep on going. What a tragic waste of a good treasure chest. Wow. So I'm moving the round counter to 3. Remember, you have to defeat all the enemies in 4 rounds or you lose. And we're going to do that. That's not a problem. I just want to make sure we get the chests and see if we can accomplish that. So let me see. Let's get this shuffled up, and we'll go again. Now this will be the last, probably the last round of the fight. Hopefully, let's see what we get done here. Okay, I think I've shuffled that enough, but let's just make sure. Give the snake a good fighting chance, right? Okay, there we go. The snake's up. So wow, that could be bad for our Vestal. Vestal might have to physician heal thyself, right? Okay, let's give a lot of blight on her if she doesn't take care of it with the venom. So let's do it. Anti-venom, brother. So the Pliskin's got an accuracy of 9, so it has to roll a 10 to fail. It doesn't. It does not crit, however. That does mean, though, she is at 9 damage. That changed dramatically, didn't it? We gotta kill it this round, and but I need the Vestal to heal. When we kill it, we're gonna end the fight. So anyway, the Vestal's at 9 now, and I'm not going to worry about stacking the blight, because when the Vestal comes, or the next hero comes up, I'm going to remove it. So that is the snake. Okay. So next up, we are going to have the Hellion go. Now the Hellion is going to remove all the blight by the use of a anti-venom. So that is gone. And she can't really do anything else. We don't need bandages to heal with. And then we got 2 actions. So she'll move in and get the chest. We'll get this done so we can kill the snake. What do we get here? Another die roll times 2 of money. Let's see how this goes for us. 7's 14 gold. Wow, that's much better. Woohoo! Okay, so we have 10. There's a 10 big bag of gold. I want to paint these 2. They're gonna look cool. And I'll take a 5 and just remove one of those ones. So now we have 20 gold to play with when we go back to the hamlet. That was worth it. Now she does have actions, so she's going to go 1, 2 to there, and no, she moved. She had to move here, so that's all her actions. Never mind. So next up, we're going to the Highwayman. He is going to. We got to kill the snake. We're going to move in there. Now I want to check something real quick. Okay, as I suspected, when he kills the snake, that's going to be the end. So we're probably going to have to rest here to heal up the Vestal and some other folks. The Hellion and the Vestal didn't get to do enough healing, which means we'll have to use our provisions. We can lower some stress. That'll be all right. It'll be all right. Okay, let's continue on. We are going to then, with the Highwayman, use his Wicked Slice. It has a 9, so it's going to need an 8 to hit, and it'll kill it if it should hit, because it's already got 5 damage on it. So let's roll our die and see what we get. An 8. Did he miss? No, it was a 9. Okay, so oh my gosh, did he miss? Okay, the snake is dead. The battle is kaput, is over. Okay, we just barely killed the snake. Now, the good news is the snake was in its room, so it wasn't healing or anything like that. However, the battle is completely finished now. We immediately get the reward. So the reward is going to be an experience token. Let me grab one of those. So now we have another experience token. And we remove this room tile from the board. It has been completed. And then we get to remove everybody off the game board. So we'll take all the initiative cards, we'll get them all set up, and we'll be ready to go to continue through the dungeon. Okay, well next time we'll have enough experience maybe to level up some abilities, get some things done. Got to remember that this Pliskin is out of the deck. It's no longer going to be available in this this round of the scenarios as we go after the Necromancer. Next up, we're in this room now. We've completed this room. We do definitely not want to backtrack. We don't have to. That's the good news. But we are going to scout, so everybody's going to take a stress. And wait, do I have to? When do I need to declare that I'm camping? Is it before I scout or after? I need to look. Because I definitely want to camp. That's for sure. Let me look it up. I'll be right back. Well, here's a bummer. I can't scout yet, so we will, however, rest, and we'll call this episode done after we rest. So I am going to use our firewood token, which is unfortunately this token. I'll just put this aside for now, and we get 12 points to spend here. So we're going to immediately take 4 of those to heal up the Hellion down to 5 damage. So, and then we're going to look at the, we're going to do the same thing. So that's 8 of our points goes to healing the two characters that were severely wounded. Now everybody's moderately wounded. But I do want to get rid of some stress. I'm going to take a point off each one for now. That's going to be 1, 2. Nope, I'm going to leave stress on the Grave Robber. I'll take another stress off of the Hellion, and that gives me 1 point left, and another stress off of the Vestal, bringing it down to 2, and we have rested. Now I'm going to have to choose which direction to go in. We're going to have to move along one of these long corridors. There's different rules for moving along corridors, but we're going to deal with that in the next episode. Well, actually, I'll tell you what the long corridors do right now. Might as well. If I can find that section again. Exploration. Where's the long corridors? I saw it. Scouting, backtracking, leaving dungeon, exploration. Save the dungeon, rolling, moving, picking quest. Oh, yeah. Okay. I'll find it and make sure that next turn we have to move along these long corridors. Some corridors run further than others. They are indicated by a gray dot. When moving down a corridor, you must stop at the dot before exploring further. If you previously scouted before entering the long corridor, the dot will prevent you from scouting past this point. So we don't have to do anything. We just have to move. It's an extra long corridor. So we're going to move here. Then everybody will gain a stress. I don't know. Which way do I move? I just picked a direction. Okay, well, we'll see. Well, everybody will take a stress again, and then we'll flip these 3 over. Oh, look! Oh, that's one of our rooms! Oh my gosh, all the rooms are on... Okay, that was on a dark room. We don't need to go there, that's for sure. But we have both of our rooms to go to, and we'll deal with them in the next round. Now, we're going to have to roll provision, or not provision, I'll get these out. We're going to be rolling for our scouting dice. 1 each for each of the folks before we move into those next rooms, but we'll get there. So... Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. We'll see you in the next one. Take care. And again, if I made any errors or something, let me know. But I'm not going to likely change too many of them. This is one of those games where you just kind of got to keep enjoying the fun and playing the game. So we'll see how it goes. Anyway, take care, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.